I had the mic off. I had the mic off the whole time. Luckily, I wasn't saying nothing. All right, how is it? How is it? Okay, show me at the bottom. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I think my volume good. I don't know. Y'all would have to tell me. I can't even get to the chat. How I get to the chat? That's strange. I don't know. It's strange. It won't let me bring the chat up. You can be heard. Okay, cool, cool. All right. That's my good brother on the other end telling me I'm good. All right. I guess we're gonna have to do this one without the chat. Uh, I was gonna wait for everybody to flood in. As y'all see, I let this run for 17 minutes. We got one listener in here. That's better than none. I've been busy. One better than none. None. Even we still gotta go, even if it's none. So this is titled what? Nationalized versus naturalized, right? Which one are you? Do you hold the mark of the Father, right? Do you hold his mark? That's religious jargon, but you hold his mark or you hold the mark of the beast. Okay? So that's what we're here to talk about. Um shoot. Let me turn this down a little. So I ain't gotta yell. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So first, fam, we got to talk about this mark. What is this mark? The mark of the Father, the mark of the beast. What does that allude to in reality? Okay, because that's coming from religious jargon, right? Talking about mark of the beast, da da da. So in reality, before I even give y'all the answer, let me ask y'all something. In the Bible, when God promised Abraham and his children all of this land for keeping the covenant, what does that allude to in reality? A contractual agreement, right? In other words, a trust. God owned the land. Abraham utilized the land as long as he operated in a fiduciary capacity, kept the covenant, right? It alludes to a trust. Okay, good, good, good. I'm just happy I could be heard. So it alludes to a trust. Uh, so when you say I take on the mark of the beast, and we know that uh, that has everything to do with a lower nature, right? The mark of the beast or the mark of that lower nature. It means that you hold the status of one who exists in the great whore Babylon or the land of Nod. In other words, it's pertaining to your status, okay? So the mark of the beast, if you put it in, it depends on what perspective you put it in. The perspective that we're coming from, the mark of the beast would be the U.S. citizenship status. And it's not to bang on nobody corporation, right? Or anybody that's doing business out there. But when you really ponder upon the U.S. citizen status, what does it do inherently? It takes away your unalienable rights, right? That sounds insane just saying it out loud. It strips you of your unalienable rights and it replaces them with what they call benefits and privileges. Those are known as your inalienable rights. Your unalienable rights are what you were born with. It can't be given to you. It can't be taken away unless you give it away through contracting. Okay? So they made it in such a way so that all you got to do is be born, right? They call it naturalization. So if you're born here, they made some money. So that's how they got it set up. It's a business, right? How do they make money? What does that mean? They made money just because I was born. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had the chat, man, because I really want to ask y'all and see what y'all know. There's only one brother in here. Shoot, I wish the brother could answer it, but I don't see the chat down there. So I might have to answer my own questions. How do they make money off of people being born? Well, upon your birth, right? I'm sure y'all heard this a million times, or maybe none of y'all heard this ever. I don't know. I'm just gonna tell y'all. When you're born in a hospital, that is, which is a federal facility, the nurse or doctor presents the mother with a contract. Some people call it a birth certificate long form. Some people call it a certificate of live birth. Okay? They present her with this contract, which she signs as an informant. So if she's signing as an informant, I don't know about every other state. When I had my daughter, they presented us with the same paperwork. And where the signature line was for her to sign, it said informant. So they ain't even try to hide it. She's signing as an informant against her child. Okay? What does that allude to? It means that you're signing something away. Something that someone originally couldn't verify for themselves, so they had to go to the superior lien holder. That's what you were saying, law. In other words, you had to go to the mother, the owner of her child, right? So she gives her John Hancock, right? I wouldn't call it that. Call it an appellation or a signature. She gives her signature, and they take this certificate of live birth to that state's Bureau of Vital Statistics. Okay? There it is registered as a security. Okay? That's the whole point of register. Okay? It's registered as a security, right? A security could be a stock or a bond. Let's just keep it simple. Okay? So, my daughter going on. Y'all might have to give me 1 second. All right, she calmed down. A security could be a stock or a bond. We're just going to keep it simple. When it's registered in the Bureau of Vital Statistics, they then send it to the United States Department of Commerce, where it's registered again as a bond. The Treasury then, right, upon asking of the Department of Commerce, generates $1 million against this bond, and it gets traded in the New York Stock Exchange. And this is the beginning of a whole process of what they call legal bondage. Okay, that trust in itself, or that bond, which is the trust is implied. The bond itself is stored in 55 Water Street, New York, New York, the Federal Reserve Trust, Central Bank for America. Okay, so it's big business. Similar processes happen when you die, and a death certificate is generated. It's just big business, okay? So y'all looking at this stuff as like some kind of country or government. It's really just a business. Everything's a corporation. Everything has cage codes, NAICS codes, EIN numbers, TIN numbers. Come on now, they're corporations. Talking about a business. So, talking about a government or a country. Not to knock nobody, because I like doing business, I feel them, but I'm not no dummy, and neither are we. So they generate these bonds, and they hold them, and they utilize the body as collateral. Okay, so the body, when I mean the human body, is the corpus of the trust. Okay, the Cestui Que trust that was created, that was generated in order for you to exist in commerce. So I must mention that too. A Cestui Que trust is generated along with the bond, and after 7 years, that becomes a Cestui Que Vie trust. Cestui Que trust is simply the entity that has beneficiary rights to the corpus of an estate. Okay, so when there was an estate generated for you after 7 years, when you're pronounced naturally dead as per Cestui Que Vie Act 1666, you receive a Cestui Que Vie trust, and you are a minority. Okay, that's what you don't want to be, though. Right? That's a setup. It's all about stealing your birthright. It's contracting you out of your birthright, but you don't know contracting. We know about how fast the planets spin, how many miles the sun is away from top. We know about different realms and dimensions and abodes and how the astral. We know all of that. But how many of us know how to do good business, right? It's crazy. And then you see all these scrolls. I got all these scrolls, right? Author by some, they say Panabab Yanun Amanu Birakata. Some, I don't know. Just being honest, I wasn't there when they wrote it. We got all these scrolls. And we got all these scrolls, right? And we could read these 9 times, right? Commit it to memory. Go out, propagate. And that's cool, right? I ain't knocking that. Heck nah, I ain't knocking that. But then when it comes to having, because these scrolls don't mention nothing about the science of government, the science of law, the philosophy of law, right? It don't teach you nothing about book entry level security transfers, right? We love these scrolls because we needed them for our identity, right? For us to be able to have a perspective so that we can figure out our identity. But it ain't gonna put food on the table, right? If you ain't selling the book itself, it ain't gonna put food on the table. Just being realistic. So how come none of us understand the science of commerce, the science of law, the science of government, right? It's all the same commerce, right? In order for a law to be valid, it has to be bonded, or in other words, insured, right? Collateralized. So it's still all commerce, So where am I at? The Sesti Kvi trust is generated on your behalf after 7 years. It really begins when you're born and the birth certificate is generated, but doesn't you're not considered beyond the seas or lost at sea until after 7 years. Now I actually want to show y'all something. Now that we own it, we're on this topic of the Sesti Kvi. What's this? Thank you. We sincerely apologize. Receipt show do it not corresponding with our records. Yeah, I just got a strange email. I want to show everyone something real quick. Since we own this, right? We talking about some beyond the seas. And this jargon is coming from the Sestu Kvi Act of 1666. If you Google it, it'll be the first link. Just read it. It's not that long. They simplified it for us. So based on the Sestu Kvi Act of 1666, if you are what they call beyond the seas, and that's what I'm about to explain to you, if you're beyond the seas, and that government generated an estate for you, right? Like when you were born, that trust was set up for you, called a Sesti K, an entity that has beneficiary rights to an estate. So what you really did was just pledge your assets away so they own it, but you utilize it. That's stealing, right? Stealing your birthright, especially if it's unconscionable. So you need to protect yourself, UCC 1-308. And I'm not giving no legal advice. I'm just giving remedy. I'm just saying facts. I ain't gonna get no, this might work, this might work. I don't give advice. I'm just gonna tell you what's a remedy. Because I don't want nobody thinking I'm a lawyer. I ain't no attorney. I don't represent no barrister, no British Crown, no none of that, man. You're mancy out here. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep it G. They done been discriminating. I didn't experience so much racism and discrimination. They want you to be an NIGGA. They want you to be a Negro. They want you to be an African-American U.S. citizen, a subject. They want you to be that. And when you find out, and not just through Bible scrolls or not just through some YouTube video, but you do your own genealogy and you find, dang, I'm a straight Native American. Like I'm really like that. They still want you to be a Negro. So don't let these people get over on you, man. They be capping. So I'm really going to show you real quick before I get all over the place, because I get long-winded. But that's better than have a shortness of breath. And where is it? I got so many notes in here. It's ridiculous, family. I'm about to give y'all the definition of beyond the seas. Give me 1 second. We rocking. See, this is why need to start highlighting. That's what I do. I would go to Black's Law or Bouvier's or something like that, right? And then I would screenshot a definition so I can get it to the people fast, just to prove a point. I need to start highlighting it because it's so many words and I get lost. So I probably would have got there fast if I would have just scrolled through the dictionary, huh? Okay, so I wanted to show y'all, but the definition of beyond the seas literally means without the United States. So that's probably anticlimactic. But the definition of beyond the seas, according to Black's Law, 6th edition, is without, or in other words, not within the jurisdiction of the United States. That's a fact. Then somebody will try to hit you with it, right? And it's a lot of Negroes that's cool with being Negroes, and they have a problem with you knowing who you are. So they're going to tell you that you're a slave, you're a descendant of a slave. When I did my genealogy, none of my people was ever slaves. So can't nobody ever call me no slave. But I've had people tell me, brothers and sisters, try to make me believe that I'm a descendant of a slave. But I have a story. So, they're really coming from an emotional perspective. I'm coming from a reality perspective. Beyond the seas means without the United States. I've had people try to say, well, you from the United States, you in the United States, how you get here, you came off a slave ship, da-da-da. I say, first of all, I'm not in the United States. I've had government departments where they, how in the contract, they always ask you, what's your race? What's your ethnicity? I never put black. I put everything else but black, no cap. And I put not a U.S. citizen. I'm never a U.S. citizen. So they'll call you or they'll send you some mail and they be like, okay, we got all your paperwork, but this one part where it say you're not a U.S. citizen, because that's the problem. Oh, you not my property? That's what you're saying. No, I'm not your property. So they have a problem when you saying I'm not your property, right? So, no, I'm not a U.S. citizen. Okay, well, where were you born? In America? What? That's a weird question, ain't it? Where were you born? Like, so it automatically makes it. Based on a constitution, you're naturalized. So you're assuming that I don't have any national identity, right? Okay. Because if anybody that study history and under Andrew Jackson and them other crazy men, how they was forcing people to become U.S. citizens. It wasn't like a U.S. citizen was the thing to be. It's like, if you ain't being this, we're going to murk you, lynch you, kidnap you, try to enslave you. Same thing. If you ain't during the Inquisitions, you ain't no Catholic, we're going to murk you, enslave you, all this extra stuff. If you ain't trying to be this, and then 100 years later, they be like, yeah, this is the thing to be. So a U.S. citizen based on UCC 1-903, Section H, and let me Google that because I don't want to give y'all the wrong one, but I be on point though. But I'm on live now, so I can't be playing. UCC 1-903. Section H. So I can't be playing with y'all. Man, where you at, boy? Where you at, boy? What are they playing with? All right. UCC 1-903. That's what I'm running with, right? Location of the United States. That's what we're looking for. These numbers, they be all around the place. That's how they do you. It's so many codes. And then you got to memorize them. Because they're going to put you on the spot. They ain't going to just, they ain't going to let you just walk in their face and talk no crazy. They're going to put you on the spot. They're going to ask you questions. And that's crazy. I thought I had that in my phone. Okay. So we're going to run with that. UCC 1-903. Location of the United States. The United States. That got to be wrong. It was 3-903. I wrote it down. All right, so I ain't got the UCC. My bad, fam. Man, nah. Let me stop playing with y'all. Stop playing with y'all, man. Okay. UCC 9-307. I played myself. All right, let's rock. Let's rock. UCC 9-307. Let me read it to y'all. See, that's why I got to double back. My ancestors gonna get me straight. UCC 9-307, Section H is titled Location of the United States. The United States is located in the District of Columbia. That's UCC 9-307H. So, if the United States is located in the District of Columbia, that's Washington, D.C. And remember, we talking about the Cestui Que Vie Act, where they're saying if you're beyond the seas for over 7 years and don't give proof of life, then you're pronounced naturally dead in the eyes of law. So if you look up the definition of beyond the seas in Black's Law 6th edition, it says without the United States. UCC 9-307 tells you that the United States is in the District of Columbia. The United States is a 501c3 corporation that was registered in Delaware and has their executive branch, right, the White House, in D.C., the District of Columbia. And according to the Article 1 in the Constitution, the jurisdiction of the United States does not extend past 10 miles square of the District of Columbia. So you are well beyond the seas, especially us down here in the southeast. I'm from Missouri, Cahokia. So we way beyond the seas, especially after 7 years. So what am I trying to say? Your Cestui Que Vie Act is in full effect if you have not given proof of life. Okay? So if you have not given proof of life, you're considered dead. You're a U.S. citizen, which is a subject who has benefits and privileges and no rights, and those benefits and privileges can be bartered, altered, or traded. Okay? And you can't own anything. That's the key thing. Because you got to imagine, they came over and stole land, right? The grandest of assets and the minerals and stuff like that. So if you can't own anything, that's a problem, okay? That's how they got it set up. And they ain't the first ones to do it. But that's what we're dealing with right now. And I'm talking about this corporation, this big corporation. They know who I'm talking about. They know what's up. Jig is up. I mean, it's just our business. It's still love and respect. It's business. So now, if you haven't given proof of life, you don the mark of the beast, right? When people look at you, they look at you as dead. They look at you as a subject. They look at you as a slave, right? And people be proud to be slaves. People be proud to accept the slave narrative. Kunta Kinte getting his foot cut off. Yeah, we went through that. Yeah, we came off the Santa and the Pinta and the Nana Maria, whatever the hell. Yeah, we was in chains and shackles and whipped and beat. I wasn't. My people wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So that's not cool with me. That when I was at school and I was a little kid and they was telling me that, my teachers and these grown folk telling me that, and then I get old and I find out, damn, that never happened to me. So how many others of these did that never happen to? So they want you to think that this whole thing got populated by African slaves. It was empty. It had a couple people, and they came over here, and then the couple people that was over here looked like them Asians with the long, straight hair, right? And then with the feather big noses, like that's the native, but that's really that's the Russian mixed with the indigenous American, who they call Indians, right? Because them goofies thought they was in India. So you got people that came from Siberia, which is Russia, them Russians, and they mixed in. This was 10,000, 15,000 years ago. And they say that's where Native Americans came from. But we, the copper people, was already here, okay? After and before the Great Earthquake, okay? The Great Earthquake, which split the earth and split the continents. So you had a people over here in Sudan, and you had a people over here in North America, and they was doing their own thing. Over here in Sudan, they got Egypt, Timbuktu, Mali, they Mauritania, Morocco. Then they came into Africa, then they came into Europe, and then they civilized the Europeans. So that's a whole little history that was going on. So, thank God, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. Moors moved from Africa into Europe, and then they found these people that was dying and sick, and they wasn't burying their dead, and they wasn't wiping their backside, and they wasn't defecating and removing the filth. They was on the side of the roads, and they was sleeping with animals. I'm talking about copulating and rats and you see what I'm saying? And we came, and I ain't gonna say we to imply that I'm those people, but my family members came and fixed that for them. Okay, 700 years. Then they want to start this Inquisition. They say, "Oh, yeah, I gotta go. There are Muslims and Sephardic Jews. Yeah, I gotta go." Right? There's some Holy Roman Catholic stuff. So then, I ain't gonna say too much, man. I don't know who's gonna be watching. People be hating. But I can say whatever, bro. This is public information. So, then the Muslims and Sephardic Jews ended up escaping France, Portugal, Spain, and they came here. So it's black people here, and they came to the islands, Portugal, Brazil, the Pirates of the Caribbean. Who you think that is, bro? That's Sephardic Jews and Muslim Moors that came from Europe, escaping the Inquisition, and there was already people here, copper-colored people here, Native Americans here. They mixed in because they blended in, okay? Them pale skins, they ain't really blend in, so they made it a race issue. But they were still Catholics and Muslims and Jews too, But they had to make it a race issue because they like, man, look, bro, we can't just die out. You know what I'm saying? They would breed us out, so they made it a race issue. All right, whatever, that's cool. That's respectful enough. Like, y'all did what y'all did. Let me not get too far off. So now we in this system, 2022, where they're stealing your birthright in your face, and it's all about commerce, and you dying in that market of beasts, whether you like it or not. So now peep this, right? Now you got groups of people that's out here saying, "Oh, I'm sovereign." It's that word, sovereign, right? I'm sovereign. So they go into the courts because this what they figured out, right? They figured out, I can lean that SSDK and that SSDK by trust that y'all created for me. I can lean it, meaning I can take the superior position. And after they take the superior position, they want to own it or they want to get rid of it. They want to do something with it, right? I want to control it, right? They want to get rid of it or they just want to own it. I don't care about owning nothing. I just want to control it. So they'll own it, and then they'll go into a court and say, yeah, I'm a sovereign, organic, living soul, and I don't have to listen to your man-made laws. I'm under the laws of nature or the Most High. They do that, and that's cool, but it's not cool because what they label those people as sovereign citizens. See, you're trying to privatize your commercial instrument and still operate in the public. You can't do that, player. It just don't mix. So that's why you get caught up. You're a sovereign citizen. Or you they do a lot of things. It's a lot of different ways they try to knock you off your square. But they wouldn't be wrong. I'm not a sovereign citizen. I'm a tribal national. Okay, I retain my sovereignty through my government, the Yamasee tribe of the Creek Nation. Okay, which all of y'all should as well. I'm not a sovereign citizen. That don't mean that a judge won't sit up there on his pedestal and try to call me a sovereign citizen. I don't care what they call me. They know what it is. Because if I was in there making some frivolous claims like that, they'd imprison me or give me some kind of ticket or something. They'd try to charge me or something. They know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about, so y'all should understand the mark of the beast at this point. I just explained the whole mark of the beast. How you get that mark. It's a real sticky mark. And it follow you everywhere you go. And it seems like that you control by this mark. So once I get back checking on my daughter, now we're going to talk about the mark of the father. 1 second. By the way, drop all questions or concerns in the comment section, or hit me up on Facebook since I can't see the comments. All right, we rocking. When she turn up, I'm taking her back in the other room, and we go. But we finna rock. All right, well, I would have her tell you, but she busy. But she know all of this too. Um, so the mark of the beast is this sticky U.S. mark that you get from naturalizing, just being born here, right? And they generate these instruments, and then they assume a lien on these instruments. They hold them in their private trust, and then they trade them. And they basically, trading your commercial life away. And they make sure that you're the surety for this instrument, meaning that you're obligated for the debts of this instrument. And when you can't fulfill a certain obligation or a certain charge, then they take your body as collateral, which means they'll lock you up. And that's New Age slavery. All right, so that's the mark of the beast. You want to get away from that, because when FEMA camps kick in, they're the ones that control everything as far as the military is concerned. So yeah, you don't really want to be dealing with that Rex 84 FEMA camp. Like, they building that stuff for y'all. So we won't get away from that, right? But we're finna talk about the mark of the father. The mark of the father, right? And I'm saying father, like I do have a biological father, so that, like I'm saying, that's religious jargon. Like Dr. Malachi York isn't my father, unless you say he's my spiritual father or my spiritual teacher. But you want to bear the mark, right? Michael. I would, I'm gonna get out the religious tip, right? Because I don't really care too much for that. The mark of the father simply is just you nationalizing into your state. The Sester Kvi Act of 1666. The reason I say that because it was enacted first in 1540, or like 1542, by King Henry, who was a brother, by the way, or more. But the Sester Kvi Act of 1666 was it says that after you lose your estate for not giving proof of life after 7 years, you're entitled to reversion, right? I'm sure y'all heard me or some of the other brothers on the councils say the name or say the word reversion, right? Reversion, what does it sound like? Reverse everything that was stolen from you, right? Including your birthright and everything that's pledged to these corporations. You get that back plus compound interest. So that's what sets the KVI Act of 1666 says. So what do you have to do? You have to put proof of life on record. Your name has to be recorded in the scroll of life to receive eternal life. So when Baba Yanun, Amanubi Barakpata, Melchizedek, Give me another one. Isa al-Masih, Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi, Michael, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He came giving you what you wanted so that you could learn to want what it was that he had to give. So what did y'all want? Well, I was, shoot, I'm only 28. It's 2022, so I wasn't around. But what did y'all want? Y'all wanted religious stuff. Y'all wanted Islam. Y'all wanted Christianity. Y'all wanted Judaism. Y'all wanted Sumeria. Y'all wanted Egyptian. And that's what y'all wanted. That's all y'all got. Not for real, but that's all y'all. That's what y'all asked for. That's all y'all wanted. So that's all he gave as far as what y'all was asking. Now, he said, I came giving you what you want. That's what y'all wanted. So y'all could learn, right? Increase your cognition, your apperception, your consciousness. So y'all can learn to want. So you have to be raised just in order to fathom or in order to interpret something so that you can come to know to want it. So he had to go put you through all these schools just so you can learn to want what he actually had to give. What did he actually have to give? 208-1999, the Yamasee Tribe of the Creek Nation. That's the only thing he came and gave y'all. And watch this. Watch this. Nobody wants it. Oh, the irony. Nobody wants it. They say we over here doing our own thing. How are we doing our own thing? And this is on the back of every book. I didn't even have to look. Bro. 208-1999. A government of retained sovereigns. This is what I'm telling y'all right now. I just told y'all what retained sovereignty was. Sovereignty that's retained in the Indian tribe. Right? All that sovereign citizen is crap. And stop letting people say that stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? Her mama. She trying to read them scrolls. She just can't read yet. Say, what's up, mama? I'll be right back. All right, she rocking. All right, so first and foremost, let me hey man, I wish that it was flooded. There's so much to address. I'm gonna just save some stuff and let people ask questions. Stop letting people say we sovereign citizens or we're on that sovereignty stuff. Like, don't let them doctor that kind of wordplay up. And they've been making y'all believe something as long as Dr. York been locked up. Stop going for the okie doke. If somebody out here giving you sound right reasoning, Nuwapu, even if you a Sabian, you ain't forget the science of Nuwapu, have you? Right? And I heard Sabaeanism was supposed to be like a step up. So like we can't abandon Nuwapu, bro. Like y'all out here believing. I'm watching everybody do it on a daily basis. Ain't nobody out here educating themselves or researching. You can't abandon Wunuwupu. Okay? Stop letting people trick y'all and say we sovereign citizens and that's fake. It doesn't work. It'll get him in trouble. It'll get us in trouble. Bro, we not none of that. We're a government. None of these other guys are a government. All these other guys, I tell y'all what, bro. All these other guys are operating through private instruments and they can't. They shaking in their boots to come out into the public. All of them. I'll say no more on that. So stop letting people fool y'all. We're the only entity out here where you have private instruments that you can use for banking and commerce, but you're a public entity. So you can bank and do in commerce in the public, not just in the private. Ask them other guys, can they do it? And then see if they lie to you. Now, moving forward, us being the government of the only state that Dr. Malachi Zadok Kobina York himself has erected, that is the Yamasee Tribe of the Creek Nation, 208-1999. We have a registrar department where we take roll numbers down. The roll numbers are based on the apostille. What's in apostille? Y'all might have heard it, y'all might not. I'm gonna give it to y'all simply. I'm not gonna give it to you like nobody else, so that you can't fathom or internalize the information. An apostille is simply a note by a how should I say, an able power to put your document in a foreign jurisdiction. As simple as that, bro. It takes a document that would otherwise been unincorporated or incorporated with them, and it makes it a foreign document. So my document, all right, let me show y'all something, right? This right here, this whole stack of paper. So people say, what is the government doing? We out here doing our own thing. This is my entire, this is my original suit. I ain't giving them no details, because this how, people be hating, and people have hated on us and blocked us and set us up. Okay. So I want to give y'all, but I can't give y'all everything. So this is the original suit, right? I got a case number for all of this and everything. Them people that seen it, they just ain't gonna tell y'all about it, right? I got exhibits in here. I'm hitting them in the face with it, right? I'm really standing up for us, right? I'm showing them the Washita Royal map. Like, stop playing, bro. Like, they know who we are, but y'all scared. So watch this. What we've been doing, man. Come on now. And these copies. These are copies of the original documents. So this is what we got going for him, right? We're in the registrar department, and we're registering. Wait, hold on. I just got off. What was we talking about? The apostille? Okay, so the apostille are foreign documents. These documents right here are coming from our court. Our court is generated through our plebiscite and the ratification of our plebiscite, which have apostilles. Our Constitution. So see, these are a lot of documents. It's copies of those documents in here. Okay, great. Look what I got. I can't show y'all the second page. There's too much information on there. But the first page, this is a copy, right, which they have in the federal offices, and multiple other government offices have this paperwork, and others also. What does it say? Certificate of affirmation for Yamasee Creek tribal nationality. So when we tell people nationalize, bear the mark of the Father, get out of that U.S. status that they're forcing on you, and we'll teach you how to put that down and pick up the mark of the Father. You'll have rights now instead of benefits and privileges. Instead of having to ask, you tell people what to do. They work for you. They say, oh yeah, they doing the white man paperwork. They working with the white man. How is it business? It's not working with the white man. Okay? These are prayers and declarations. In law, that means that I'm telling you what to do. I'm not asking you for nothing. That's a petition. And then them same people that's telling you that we crazy being court pleading. That's to beg, to plead. So they in there begging the judge for forgiveness. We telling the judge what to do, so stop playing. It's levels. This is the affirmation of nationality. It's just a 2-page document. You should read it. Got the great seal on it and everything. It got my name and stuff on it, so I'm not finna share it because people that hate it in the past. Ratification, the tribal plebiscite. This is a copy. They had this. This is the ratification, the first page of the ratification of the plebiscite. Man, come on, man. I got the whole plebiscite right here. Duamitef read it. So look, you file this document, these 2 little pages, and then you're gonna see something. You get this little stamp at the bottom, right? Since these are copies, I don't have my great seal on the front of this, but I'll show you what a great seal look like. I'll show you what a great seal look like. Make sure y'all can see some of these documents. Okay, so this is one great seal. Right? This is another type of gray seal. Okay? This is an apostille in the state of Missouri, which grants full faith and credit. This, what does it say? What does it say? I certify that the document hereunto annexed is under the seal of the Secretary of the State of Missouri, and that such seal is entitled to full faith and credit. Stop playing. What's full faith and credit? See, you got to nationalize, man. We got to stop playing, bro. These saying they drop in a book every week. It got the same old information. Come on now, when we gonna get the new information? When we gonna start moving as a government, as a tribe? That's what a great seal look like. This one is double sealed. You know, this is what they call a raised seal, right? You can just like you can feel it, you know. And what's under here? That's my birth certificate under this. So that you want to get them seals on your birth certificate, no back. It's a reason why we doing that. Come nationalize. I got documents that I can't even show you, man. I want to. Come nationalize. Come to the government meetings. You can't come to the government meetings unless you nationalize. If you come in as a guest, it ain't no cloth talk. We can't have that cloth talk. You know how many people come into the council, into the government council as a guest, only to take information and go run back and tell somebody and never come back again and never had a plan of nationalizing. We got a whole state to function. Now let me show y'all something. We got a whole state to function. Y'all got to bear this seal, man. You know, we the Yamasee Creek. We been here. Y'all know the history of the Yamasee Creek, right? If you don't, visit www.yamaseecreeknation.gov.online. If you don't know our story, go read it. It's on our website, www.yamaseecreeknation.gov.online. Come on, man. So I got so much paper, man. I got to go buy some cabinets or some safes or something because this is ridiculous. It's all neat on my computer. Okay, so these are this way. Look, you talking about? Come on, stop playing, man. Stop playing, man. This ain't even what I was looking for. This code right, this legendary in itself. Come on, man. They say right here, Constitution and codes for the Yamasee Creek. Hold on, man. We got a tribal court. The Constitution of the Yamasee Creek Native Americans of the Creek Nation, the Code of Yamasee Native Americans of the Creek Nation, the rule of appellate procedure, the rules of civil procedure. Come on, man. We ain't playing. We really have these documents. We really have a government established, right? With express federal receipts, apostille. Come on, man. Them other guys is doing business, bro. That's just commerce. That's just private contract. And this is real. This is a government. And not just anybody government. This is Dr. York's government. His state, who he is the Maku, the chief of. He is our Maku. Let me see. The tribal court consists of one chief justice and 4 associate justices. Each justice is appointed by the consul general of the vizier office. The court staff is also consists of a court administrator, tribal court clerk, 2 probation officers. So that's a whole court staff. Don't you think we need to fill seats? Listen here, the People's Supreme Court of Wahani was founded to allow tribal members to appeal any decision in the trial court in civil and criminal cases. So we got a whole court. Come on now. I have documents in federal court that came out of our judicial court, making us the superior court. Come on, bro. Yeah, they gonna be mad. Yeah, the judge is gonna give you backlash. Duh. You think they want their property running away? You think they want their slaves to escape? I really want to find the we got departments, right? We got a lot of departments. Department of Education, Department of Agriculture, Department of Security, Registrar Department, which we're over. So you got to imagine we have so many departments. If you've ever been in one of these departments, like these federal or state departments, you got like 3 officers, you got 2-3 clerks at the window at a time. You got this, that, and the other people, right? Just for one department. So imagine, so people all up in our mentions and our comments and our inboxes and saying things like, y'all don't get back with us. Y'all don't get back with people. Y'all don't, man, you know how busy we are because nobody wants to nationalize. Y'all really believe in these people, and these people are saying negative things about Dr. York's state and negative things about Dr. York's government. Y'all believe in all of that crap. And so nobody wants to come nationalize. Everybody's scared. Everybody want to go do that weird stuff. If you came over here and we function our government, the sooner that we would be to get him reversion and getting him out. We got to go through this whole legal procedure simply because we can't get 500 people to nationalize to get him out. If we got everybody nationalized, all right, come on, Chief. Oh, damn, he didn't lie. Ashley Roy, you have to take back what he said. He didn't lie. He is a chief. He does have a tribe. They're not just ignorant followers who the last thing they see themselves is as a tribe. They actually have common sense. They actually know how to do business. Come on, Chief. Come on out. That's how they're going to treat it. But instead, we got to go pick up our property. Man. I mean, that pretty much says it all. You know, you're a naturalized U.S. citizen, or you a nationalized Yamasee Creek native? You bear the mark of the Father, or you bear the mark of the beast? All right, fam. It was good talking to y'all, man. What do?